Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. Jethro 1963 wrote a comment in one of my videos, and he says this: speaking of L&L, David, I know you are a fan, as am I, of the L&L video series. Any chance of a video on the series? What might be your favorite video, favorite performer? Who did a video? The goofy audience members. It's funny that you should mention the goofy audience members, because if you watch enough L&L videos, you'll notice that the audience members are pretty much the same people over and over and over again. And they become part of the show. They become part of the fabric of L&L. And some of them are quite entertaining, and they're fun to watch. So yeah, the audience members are just as hysterical as the performers. It says, I still lament that they hadn't been around 20 years earlier, but I'd love to see a video on your thoughts about the series. I searched your videos and didn't see one dedicated to L&L, but I know you mentioned them. I mentioned them quite a bit. I've been collecting L&L DVDs. There's just a few of them here. I thought I'm going to pile my desk and behind on the books, I'm going to pile it high with L&L videos. But I decided against that because I'm too lazy to get them all out and put them all back. Okay, that's the reason. But I brought a few samples here, and the Easy to Master series. Let's start with that, the Easy to Master series. Easy to Master Money Miracles by Michael Amar. Stellar. Get it. Easy to Master Card Miracles. Hold on just a second. Easy to Master Card Miracles. Now these are nicely packaged. I don't know why these were packaged this way, but these are L&L. And this is I think this is 9 volumes. There might be more volumes than that, but I have 9 volumes right here. So nine volumes of card magic by Michael Amar, and these are, he presents the best of the best in this series. And then you have individual lecturers, right? So you've got the Easy to Master series. You've got individual lecturers, so you might have people like, for example, Daryl, Flip, Roger Klaus, Frank Garcia, Aldo Cambini, Mark Leverage, Albert Goshman, Michael Finney. All these people have done lectures for L&L up there in Lake Tahoe. But then you get this series, which is another L&L series called World's Greatest Magic by the World's Greatest Magicians. This particular volume, I have probably 40 volumes of World's Greatest Magic DVDs or downloads. I get the downloads also, but this one is sponge balls. So what you have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different magicians presenting their sponge ball routine and explaining it. You have card warp. In this case, you have 7 different entertainers. Michael Amar, Eugene Berger, Michael Close, Paul Diamond, Scotty York, Bruce Shervan. So you've got all those entertainers doing their version of card work. And then you have professional rope routines: Michael Finney, Dan Harlan, Aldo Colombini, Jeff Sheridan, Ted Leslie, and Flip doing their rope routine. And anything you can think of, they've got an L&L World's Greatest Magic DVD. So the amount of material they have made available to the magician is phenomenal, and it's reasonably priced, and you get, it almost feels like you're attending a lecture. you're not able to ask questions, obviously, but it's great. Now, I wanted to give you a little bit of a history. I was doing some research, and Genie Magazine has a forum, and Louis Falanga, I believe that's his name, Louis Falanga, was one of the founders of L&L Magic, and he's passed away. I believe he passed away in 2020. And Jim Sisti wrote a biography of Louis Falanga, and in the biography he gives the history of L&L Publishing. So I thought I would share this with you. I'm also going to put the link down below so you can go ahead and download it yourself. It's from Genie Magazine, June 2020. The magic world lost a giant as Louis Falanga, founder and president of L&L Publishing, passed away peacefully Saturday morning after his courageous battle with a protracted illness. Born in Brooklyn, New York in 1955, Louis first became interested in magic by way of an uncle who would show him simple magic tricks during family dinners. Several years later, he became more serious about magic after seeing Mark Wilson perform at the 1964-65 World's Fair in New York, and he soon developed a profound love of close-up magic, particularly card magic. The future publisher consumed books like Wilfred Johnson's Magic Trick and Card Tricks and Scarnay on card tricks, learning every trick in them. He also developed the same habit that many magician kids in New York had, that of hanging around Lou Tannen's magic shop in the hope of being able to rub shoulders with many of the legends at that time. Louis relocated to California in 1973, settling in Tahoma on the shores of Lake Tahoe. And that's why these videos are all shot in Lake Tahoe, right? He got a job first as a ski lift operator and later as a staff trainer for the Squaw Valley Ski Resort, but also soon found work as a close-up magician in the many exclusive restaurants in the Lake Tahoe area. It was during this period that Louis would first meet Larry Jennings. An encounter that would change his life forever. They became fast friends, and Larry moved to Newport Beach to assume a position of entertainer director at the Magic Island. He hired Louis to act as host at the club. At the Magic Island, Louis found himself rubbing shoulders with the likes of Michael Amar, Martin Lewis, John Carney, Darryl, a period of his life he always remembered fondly. It was also during this time that Louis began to develop a significant number of his own effects. He decided to incorporate these original ideas and routines into print form and enlisted the aid of local magic pal Mike Maxwell to write up the material for the book. Louis Falanga's Lake Tahoe card magic made its debut in 1985. Not only did it offer 14 of Louis's items, but Larry Jennings contributed an entire chapter of unpublished material. The book was well received by cardmen and critics alike and continues to be a good seller to this day. Louis suggested to Larry that he put out a comprehensive book of his own, and Larry, while resistant at first, finally warmed to the idea. Louis brought Mike Maxwell as writer, Tom Gagnon and enlisted as illustrator, and finally in 1986 the classic magic of Larry Jennings was ready for release. Louis and Larry, L&L. What to call the company became a dilemma, but Larry had the answer. It's you and me. Louis and Larry, L&L Publishing. And that's the way it started. L&L Publishing, with Louis at its helm, published many books now considered to be classics, including 4 volumes of the Vernon Chronicles, 2 volumes of the collected works of Alex Elmsley, Cornucopia, The Magic of Michael Amar, The Commercial Magic of J.C. Wagner, and many, many other titles, including books by and about Ed Marlowe, Harry Lorraine, Don Allen, John Cornelius, Roger Klaus, and many others. L&L Publishing also compiled many magic periodicals in hardcover form. The first was the Paul Barrer's Review, Apocalypse, The Chronicles, Stanion's Magic, and The Magic Menu. In the early 90s, Lewis expanded the reach of L&L Publishing into instructional videos, beginning with 3 titles starring Bruce Shervan based on the Vernon Chronicles. Then in 1994, L&L Publishing released the first volumes of Easy to Master Card Miracles. These recordings, which featured Michael Lamar, are still, to this day, the best-selling instructional magic videos ever published. Beginning in the very early 2000s, L&L Publishing was the first major magic producer to make the jump to DVD. They went from VHS to DVD, and for the next decade produced scores of instructional videos, including such artists as Alex Emsley, Daryl Eugene Berger, Max Maven. By the way, I should do a set just on Max Maven stuff. It's just terrific, from L&L Publishing. Harry Lorraine, Jeff McBride, Richard Osterlund, David Regal, Joshua J., Simon Aronson, and many, many others. Perhaps Jeff McBride summed it up best when he said of Louis Falanga, he changed the way we learn magic. Now, as I said, I'm going to put that down below. L&L Publishing finally closed its doors and is now owned by Murphy's Magic. So if you're getting L&L now, it's probably through Murphy's Magic. Folks, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this answers your question, addresses the issue. Obviously, I'm an L&L fan, have been for decades. Thank you so much for joining me. Please comment down below. Please subscribe if you've not done so already. Have a great day.